Hi everyone, we're here with Leon. You want to tell everyone what you did today?
We're at an AGOV sneak peek, and I decided to play Resonators, and I got second place.
Great.
So I guess I get to show you guys what I was playing. I main decked Everyone's King. I think it's a really solid 3K beater. It has no level, which means you don't have to tribute summon for it. Great time card, personally.
All right.
If I could play more copies of it, I would.
All right. Well, before we get into the actual deck profile, is there anyone who you want to shout out?
Shout out No Limit Gaming, beautiful establishment here. Sponsors our team, we love them. Shout out Heroes and Games in Columbus and Refined Gaming. Shout out the Yu-Gi-Oh! Ohio team, my teammates on the intercollegiate team for Ohio State, and Team Interstellar up in Cleveland.
All right, well, let's get started.
All right, cool. So, pretty standard. You play 3 Soul Resonator. I'm going to take about 10 minutes to explain why we play that. Just kidding. So it's great. Searches are shit. You play 3. It's an easy 3-0. I play 2 Vision, 2 Crimson, and 1 Synchron as the rest of my Resonator package. I know that some people like to cut all these down to 1. I know some people like to play 3 Crimson because it comes up. Honestly, I don't want to see this one ever in my hand. It just doesn't do enough on its own. I don't want to brick on these because I really don't need them on the field. And this comes up enough that sometimes I want to draw it, but I don't want to open on it because it doesn't do enough on its own. So I like the ratios. 3 because this is a starter, 2/2, and then 1 because I only want to summon this off of Sun Bone Archfiend.
That makes sense.
Moving on, 3 Bone. I feel like I see some people playing 2. I don't understand why. It's crazy. I think it's an easy 3 of. It's so applicable all the time. 1 Wild Wind, 1 Uvaloop. I know some people play more Wild Wind. Some people don't play any of them. I like both of them. I don't like both of them at more than 1. Just because, again, they're extenders, and they don't do anything on their own. This card's insane. I see people cutting it. I have no idea why. This card's crazy. Easy for me, a 3-0 for that. So that's the Resonator side of the deck. Moving on to the next package. I do play Bystials as my side package for this deck. So 2 Lubellion, 1 each Magma Druid's Orb Saronir. I know some people like to play Supe in this deck, or just run more extenders and more Resonators. I think this engine's crazy. It enables you to Calamity Lock people. Beast is a good card. These are crazy, this format with all the graveyard decks. I think it's just always really solid. I see no reasons not to play this over the other engines. The deck doesn't really need the extenders in my personal opinion. Moving on to spell traps. We have the RDA spells, 3 Crimson Gaia. This card's insane. The fact that it's once per turn, just keep searching over and over again. You only need to have 1 copy as long as they don't get rid of it. The book effect weirdly does come up. You wouldn't think it would. And we play 1 Red Zone. I don't really think you need to play more than 1 Red Zone. It's searchable, very searchable. It's a good card. Just to have, but you definitely don't want to brick on it. It does nothing in your hand. You can get on your board later. So, I mean, it's solid. It's just extra interaction on your board. We also play 3 Resonator Call. I mean, not once per turn. Rhoda for my whole deck. I get to search whichever little guy I want, and that's mostly why I play the deck, is to search little guys. And this card just says search a little guy. It's a little guy deck.
That makes sense.
And it lets me search a little guy. Branded spell traps, 1 Beast, because everyone tells me to play it even though I never activate it, 1 Etude, and 1 Chaos Space. I don't like when other people get to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm trying to play Yu-Gi-Oh! That's really mean of them because I'm trying to play Yu-Gi-Oh! So that's why I play Etude. I almost always end on Etude if I can off of Lubellion. If I see Lubellion in my hand, my first thought is, can I Calamity Lock? Lol, LMAO. So that's what Etude is there for. Beast is if I also have a Saronir, if I just have a way to get to it. Why not have another piece of interaction? And Chaos Space, this card should be gone. This card is crazy as long as the Bystial engine's still around. I'm shocked that it's at 1, and Dragon Link deserved more hits, honestly. That deck is cringe. I hate it. Bennett from Yu-Gi-Oh! Ohio, my teammate, I hate you. Anyway.
So true.
Moving on to non-engine. Consistency cards, 3 Prosperity. Little known fact about me, I'm Mr. Richie Rich Man. I make a grillion dollars a year. So I have as many. I have a billion copies of Prosperity. I eat them for breakfast. So I grabbed just 3 of these out of my cereal box this morning. We play 2 talents because we're so talented. That's actually what makes this card live. Is you need to be a certain degree of talented with your deck, and this is the little guy deck, and I'm a little guy. I'm 5'7", so talents is always live. Okay. In all honesty, this deck loses really hard to single pieces of interaction. So talents just helps you kind of push through sometimes. If you get draws, hand rip's crazy, especially if your opponent maybe doesn't hit you in a great spot. If you have an extender, just talents for some more stuff. More interaction, and then 1 Foolish, because Bone Archfiend from Grave, Oovaloop from Grave, Vision Search Gaia start your turn. It's crazy. Foolish is a crazy card. If you play graveyard stuff, play a copy of Foolish. I don't understand why. And then 3 Imperm, 3 Ash. I was having a discussion with some of my teammates, and some of them were under the impression that Imperm's mid this format. I'm going to be honest, did not come up today that much. I had a lot of situations where I had enough monster negates on field, and maybe main decking something like Crow would have been better with how many graveyard decks are running around. I still like Ash. I think Ash is crazy. No complaints on that. But I'll have to rethink on the Imperm personally.
Is there anything you would change in the main deck?
I like Creation Resonator, but I don't know if I like it enough to cut anything else. I consider cutting the Beast just because I feel like if I'm getting Lubellion, I'm almost always going into Etude to Calamity Lock or just make Baron in my opponent's draw phase because I can't make it on my turn. I just don't feel like I ever make Beast, so I might go Creation just so I have another Synchron name, Resonator name on in my deck to search through. Past that, I mean, if I had Thrusts, I'd play them, but I don't. So that $1 billion goes to charity, so I can't afford Thrusts. Moving into the extra deck, we've got 3 orange Red Dragon Archfiend. There's no debate. This is the best card in the deck. Even if you don't play Crossbow, you play 3. We've got 2 RDA in his emo phase of middle school because it comes up more than once. I really think that if you play 1, you're towing a thin line there with how much interaction you have on your crackback. We've got 2 RDA, but someone turned off the AC. It's an M-board piece. It's just solid. It lets you play around Dark Ruler because you search Red Zone, and that's something that decks like this, these kind of blowout rogue decks really often cannot do, is play around stuff like Dark Ruler or Evenly or blowout cards like that. This helps. It's just a solid negate. We've got 1 RDA, but he's actually cool, unlike the one that this thing is. He's actually pretty neat. Time cards. I love time cards. I love winning in time. I actually don't, but it's good to have, and also it's just a lot of removal. If you need to push for a game and you're in the late stage of the game, it's another level 8 to make. We've got 1 Red Dragon Archfiend, but actually he's the coolest card in the game, and everyone should think I'm cool for playing it. I love when my opponent doesn't get to play the game because I'm trying to play the game, and this card doesn't let my opponent play the game. I think that's pretty cool personally. We've got 1 big fucking RDA. I'm gonna have to censor that.
Big Daddy RDA?
Big Daddy RDA. My opponent should not be allowed to have a board, and that's what I'm trying to do here.
Did you ever make that today?
Once for game.
Ooh.
Once for game. It's huge too. Not sure what this card is. Someone told me to play it.
That is the...
I don't know.
It says a Red Dragon Archfiend, but I don't know how accurate that is.
No, but these are all Red Dragon. I don't... Sometimes you just listen to people and it's a bad idea, you know? Got 1 Red Dragon Archfiend, but it's from Duelist Nexus. Level 7, sometimes you get stuck on a level 3 Soul Resonator, and you need to synchro off. We've got 2 RDA, but Etude is live. That's what that's there for. And that's Baron DeFleur. So,
All right.
yeah, moving on to the side deck. It's cringe, because this deck is cringe. 2 Cosmic, because I hate Runic so much. I hate Runic, I hate trap decks. Please stop playing them. 2 Crow, because I don't have room for a 3rd one, and I already played Bystial, so 2 feels fine. Pearly Spell Traps, just other cards with tears running around, so on and so forth. Playing a little Trap Trick package, because I play big Dark Monster, so that's 2 Eradicator, because I hate when my opponent plays the game. That's 2 D-barrier because I hate when my opponent plays the game. And then my opponents also hate when I play the game, so we play a little crossout package on the side. I thought about maining it. There's no space. You really need non-engine to play going second against most decks. There's just no space. But going first, I'd rather not lose than have imperms and ashes that I don't need. And one red resonator, because we love winning in time. We take those. We love winning in time, and also Ted Lewis signed that. He also signed that card, I don't know, which is kind of weird, but, that was neat. I don't know why he signed that, but...
Well, anything else you want to say about the deck? Anything you want to change? What you were happy with, what you didn't like?
I feel like my synchro lineup could be better, if I'm being honest. I feel like I need a level 11 or something to go into when I get stuck in awkward situations. Just because it's better to end on something decent than a resonator that's just going to leave the board anyway. I'd like to fit in more crows, so I might cut the crossout package. You're cut it down. I feel like I didn't run into droll all day, but I ran into nib a bunch, so I don't really feel like I need the droll right now. This is maybe excessive because I already play other time cards. There needs to be more little guy decks. There aren't enough. They're the best decks in the game, and anyone who says otherwise is lame, and I hope that I eradicate them at a regional when it's round 9 and they're X2 and they don't have their invite.
All right. Well, all right. Well, thank you for the deck profile. We'll see you later, Leon.